All right, the meeting come to order. Roll call, please.
Judge Deskins?
Yes.
Magistrate Anderson? Magistrate Johnson? Magistrate Murphy? Magistrate Robinson?
Here.
Magistrate Dodson? Magistrate Varney?
Here. All right. Who would like to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I will.
Herbie?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Herbie. Approval of the minutes of October the 3rd, 2017, October the 17th, 2017. Need a motion.
Peggy bring you and drop you off? Did Peggy bring you and drop you off?
Roll call, please. Yes, roll call.
Magistrate Anderson?
Yes.
Magistrate Johnson?
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson? Magistrate Dodson?
Yes.
Magistrate Varney?
Yes.
Judge Deskins?
Yes. All right. For approval, discussion.
Of deed, of the deed from the Humane Society.
Right. Discussion with the Board of Elections, approval of a deed between the Pike County Humane Society, Humane, and the Pike County Fiscal Court. Brian?
Yes, what this is up at the animal shelter, the Humane Society. Would you like to come up and address too? Humane Society deeded that property up there back to the Fiscal Court. That's where our current animal shelter is located. There's another small tract of land that adjoins that property, and we've been working with Humane Society for the last couple of months, and they're going to deed that property back over to the Fiscal Court, donate it for the purpose of the animal shelter. Would you like to speak on that?
Yes, the conditions of giving that property to the Fiscal Court are the same as what we had in the deed when we gave the animal shelter to the Fiscal Court, that property can only be used for the purposes of animal control.
Yes, I've spoke with Jason and Lori at the animal shelter. They feel that that'd be a good place for maybe a barn for larger animals. The Pike County, the Fiscal Court really appreciates the Humane Society for the donation, and we'll make sure that it's used the proper way.
Okay. While I've got this microphone in front of me, I'd like to also throw something out. In the past, the Fiscal Court, under the Fiscal Court, we had an advisory board for the animal shelter, and under that, we had developed a policy and procedures manual for the shelter. And I propose that the Fiscal Court reestablish an advisory board for animal control in Pike County again.
I would absolutely recommend that. I think that's a great idea. I think John does served on that board. I think I saw Jeff Vanderbeek here. I think Jeff served on that board as well, didn't you? I mean, I think that would be an excellent improvement to the animal shelter, because a lot of the animal shelter, it hits my desk, and it's hard for me to sit and be over everything at the animal shelter. And
that isn't the way it should ever be.
I know that, but what I'm saying is, when the information comes into the judge's office, it would be nice to have an advisory board to be able to go to. But John, I want to let you talk about that, and Jeff, if your involvement on it, if you want to talk about it, it'd be up to the court, but I think it'd be a good idea. John, what do you think?
I think it would be proper to go ahead and take care of her issue on the property.
Yes.
Before we go into discussion on the other thing.
Is that a property is adjacent to the property?
Yes, absolutely.
I'd like to make a motion that we accept it if that's what it takes to get it done, because I've been up there and they do need some space, and we probably need to look into that and get it done as quick as we can.
I'll second the motion.
I'm going to have Herbie read the deed.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, the deed's already prepared. I know Herbie's oversaw it.
I've read the deed and studied the exceptions, and it's what exactly she says. It can't be used for anything other than for the purpose of animals. It can't be used for storage of any equipment by Pike County, any excess equipment. So the deed does say exactly that, what she said.
But Herbie, they could build a barn or a building on there for larger animals.
As long as it's used for animals like horses or cattle or what have you. It can't be used for storage of county equipment, say.
I believe we have a motion and a second. So roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson,
Yes.
Magistrate Johnson,
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson, Magistrate Dodson,
Yes.
Magistrate Varney,
Yes.
Judge Diskins.
Yes. Adoption of a resolution authorizing the participation in the 2018 illegal open dump
Thank you.
remediation
Judge,
grant.
I think she was still talking about some issues there when.
Yes, she was talking about the advisory board.
I just wanted to throw that out for later discussion. It doesn't have to be with at this court meeting, but I thought it was just a good opportunity to make that a public suggestion.
What happened to the advisory board?
We pretty much disbanded after the county's adoption of the Policy and Procedures Manual. And, well, we just pretty much disbanded. But I think there is definitely a need for an advisory board because decisions about the shelter should not be coming from the courthouse. It should be coming from the administrator of the animal shelter.
I agree with you, honey, and are y'all responsible for the advisory board?
Well, it was several members of the community were on the advisory board.
So it's nothing to do with the court?
No.
I'd like to see y'all take that animal shelter and let us help you with it and run it the way you see fit.
We don't have the money to do that. Right now, the Humane Society is exclusively involved in spay-neuter assistance, and we will do that until there's no more money to spend on it. But that's all that we do right now.
Thank you very much for the donation. Hey, Judge, before you move on, can we go back to the discussion with the Board of Elections?
Yeah.
We got 3 members here. If you don't care, we want to come up and talk.
I guess I got nominated. Rhonda couldn't be here. One of our employees are sick. But anyway, Lorraine and Marie and I and Rhonda sat on the election board. And we need an executive order, I guess, I don't know, Judge, from you, the county attorney, or who's supposed to do it, to certify the commissioner districts, the 3 districts, if that's what way it's going to be. You know, are there going to be 3 commissioners, 3 justices of the peace? Are there going to be 3 constables? Because this is very detrimental to the clerk because they're going to start coming in, you know, a week from Wednesday to start filing for offices. And we just need an executive order telling us what's what.
Shane, can you talk on that?
Rodney, I don't understand a whole lot about this new change, and I'd say you don't either.
No.
One question I want to ask is the justice of the peace. I've been told the only authority they have would be to marry people and to notarize papers.
That's the same thing I heard. I don't know.
What you've been told?
Yeah.
So would them be elected like Herbie? You might know more about it than we do. 3 justices of peace, would they be elected in the same districts like the 3 commissioners? Is that the way you understand?
That's the way I understand it, Hillman. You know, your commissioners, your justice of the peace, and your 3 constables, each one would run out one district.
But unlike the commissioners, the justice of the peace and the constable does not have to run county-wide in the regular election.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't think so. commissioner's the only one that does that.
That's a good question, Bobby.
Yeah, I'm almost sure that's it, but we need to check it out.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah.
But yes, Sheriff, Herbie, we'll get on that for you.
Okay, all right, appreciate it, that's all we have.
I appreciate your concerns because it is an important issue that we need to look into as soon as we can. And
Right, well, you know, we had an election board meeting last week, and I don't know, somebody said they had spoke to the county attorney. I don't know if he's the one that's supposed to do it or what, but, you know, we hadn't got one, so we called Jeannie to get on the agenda for today, because we know the day's last court meeting before they can start filing, so, you know.
And we need to do this pretty quick, because like you said, in a couple of weeks, they'll be filing, right?
Well, yeah, a week from Wednesday, they can come in down to the clerk's office and start filing. You know, she needs to know what's what.
Yes, sir.
And we need to educate the people on these
Right.
issues.
And you know, like you said, Hillman, the only thing I know is, I'm like you, what I've been told, you know, especially like on the justice of the peace. I hear the only power they got is to marry someone and notarize papers. And that's only if it's given by the judge. That's the way I was told.
Only what, Rodney?
Only if the judge gives them that power.
To marry someone.
Right, to marry someone and notarize papers. The judge has to give them the power to do that. That's the way I took it. I don't know.
That's sort of the way it is now, isn't it? You know, the judge has to sign off, I think, on giving you permission to do them things. And you got to be bonded and be able to do that. But it's going to be a learning experience for everybody.
Yes, it is.
And, you know, I just hope that we can go forward and make this thing a smooth transition and work out to the best for our county and the people that we represent. You know, it's going to be different. And, you know, we can talk to the people down in Johnson County. They've been commissioners for years, and they can probably tell us some things that would help us. You know, they've had commissioners down there for several years now.
That it? That's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Adoption of a resolution authorizing the participation in the 2018 illegal open dump remediation grant and approval to execute all related documents. Bobby Mullins.
Judge, this is a grant that we have opportunity to file for annually, and the money is provided. It comes back from the state to help clean up the open dumps. We have 10 dumps that's be on the list to be cleaned up, and the total amount of the grant's $191,072, and we just need this approved where you can sign all legal documents.
Bobby, do we need a motion to accept that, or is it already there, just judges need to sign off
No, we need a motion and everything.
to apply for the grant?
Yeah, we need a motion to adopt the resolution and authorization for the judge executive to execute all related documents. I need a motion in a second.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson?
Yes.
Magistrate Johnson?
Yeah.
Magistrate Robinson? Magistrate Dotson?
Yes.
Magistrate Barney?
Yes.
Judge Diskins?
Yes.
Hey, Judge, may I add that the Solid Waste Department will clean up 2 of those, and we'll be bidding out 8 of them. Okay, we'll be putting on bids.
Bobby, have you had a chance to look at the one we mentioned a few weeks ago over on Pounder Mill at the mouth of the hollow there that goes up the hill? I was over there last week, and it looked like somebody had started doing something over there. They'd picked up some bags, but they were still a lot of stuff that we could get with a boom truck.
Yes, Jimmy Dales went and looked at that, and we have cleaned up some, and you was talking about a trail ride go through there. He wants to clean up everything that's visible from the road, and then we'll work on the rest of it.
Well, it's all not visible from the road. I mean, you've got weeds and things, and it's sort of off hidden. So you'd have to drive back there to see it.
It all done. Jimmy Dale said they done that a Friday, Hillman.
They get it all cleaned up, Jimmy. We thank you. You know, we were supposed to had trail ride Saturday, but due to the weather, we canceled it, and it's gonna happen on the 11th if weather permits.
Have we had a vote on that? Okay. All right. Adoption of a resolution approving the execution of the Rural Secondary Fund Supplemental Agreement Number 1 with the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet that amends the June 26, 2017 contract. Jackie Darrell?
Yes, the reason we done this is the flex money, but we got informed that the state was going to do some work on people in that area call it drafting a pond on here. It's Pond Creek Road, 1641. But we was informed that the state was going to do some work there, plus the water company's going to do some work and tear up the road, so it'd be a waste of money to fix the asphalt on that road at this time. So we changed it to another road, working with Leo and the road foreman up there, and we want to put it on Rattlers Creek, starting on 23 there and patch up through Rattlers Creek. So the commissioner said we had to go back to the court and get approval, and we've done. I went through the State Department. They looked at the road and approved it and so forth. But y'all got to approve the change.
In the state's discussion of that, Jackie Darrell, did they say once that work is done on that road at Pond Creek that they're going to come back and help us with that?
It's in Leo's district, but no, that road is going to be tore up by the state, so the money was being put on it was flex money. So we're moving the flex money from that road to Rattlers Creek because it'd be a waste of money to work on that road.
I understand that, but are the state going to fix the road once they tear it up?
I don't know that answer.
Are you talking about Pond Fork or Draffin?
Draffin,
Up the
yeah.
new bridge?
Yeah, it's over there where that big new bridge is, goes across up that hollow.
Now, what's the state going to do?
They're going to do some work up there on a bridge, I was told. That's what Leo informed me and the foreman up there. And they suggested doing the work on Rattlers Creek. And so I went and looked at that and got Joe to look at it, and it fit into the criteria needing. But, and then the water company's going to do some digging, putting a water line up through there too. So it'd be a waste of money to put hardtop down and tear it up. So we put the flex money, it's just flex money, we moved it to another road, it's simple.
But that money will go back to Pond once they get ready for it?
No, that money from this allegation will go to Rattlers Creek. Yeah. That'll be a new road to do in the future.
Leo's not here today to talk about it.
That's what Leo wants.
But, you know, them people up there, that's a pretty good size little holler Pond Fork is. And, you know, they are going to lose money
and that
they're going to need their road fixed too once they go in there and do water and sewer repairs. Who's going to fix it back for them?
I think it's going to be like a year's worth of work up there.
Yes, it's a long-term deal there, and it'd just be a total waste of money to put the flex money there instead of putting it somewhere else.
Is that
and Leo come with an informant and me talked, and we come up with Rattlers Creek.
Is that part of the new road? Is 460? I mean, is that?
It's up off of 460. It's the new road that's being built there, through there. And they're crossing several areas and putting bridges in and things. And so that's what relates to it according to Leo there. And so they wanted to put the money somewhere else, and they got a lot of formality to go through to change it. It's just the rules that the state's got. We just can't take the money and put it, flex money for this area and just move it on our own here. We got to get approval from the state.
I understand all that. I want the state to say that they're going to fix that road once it's tore up.
That's another agenda, but this flex money right now is being spent at this moment.
We're not doing them people justice if we take their repair money and take it somewhere else.
Well, we're not doing justice. We put that road there and tear it up.
Leo did not realize that the state would be going up there and doing all this work and not holding on to the flex money as determined by him for that road till all this work gets done in a year and a half. So he's rediverting it to somewhere else. He can bring it back up.
I can understand that, John, but what me and Bobby were talking about was if you've got money designated to fix a road, it's not fair to the people that live there to take it away from them and not have something to say we're going to fix this when the construction work is done. And Jackie says it's off the table and there's nothing in there to protect them.
This is what Leo wants done in his district, and Leo can put that on the agenda next flex money for next year. when this project gets through.
That might be what he wants done, but I don't have to vote for it.
Well, I've got a resolution here. I need a motion to adopt the resolution and authorization for the county judge executive to execute all documents. I need a motion in a second. A roll call, please. Dave, you got a second?
Need a second.
Need a second. Second. Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson,
Is this something, Jackie Darrell, that needs to be done today, or can we wait until Leo comes to the court meeting? And if that's what he wants,
Well, that's what
I'd
he
at least
wants.
like to hear from
He
him.
called me personally and told me to come to this court and for me to be sure and present this today. And so that's what I'm doing. And the rules that the commissioner told me at the court had to go back and redo this in order to move the money from one area to another. And if the court wants to put that money on that road and tear it up and just waste that money, that's a wasteful deal in my life, thinking of business or taking
Heck,
care of the people.
I'm not saying waste the money. I say they need to have a little protection that they're going to go back later on and fix in people's road. If it needs it now, it'll need it more after the construction work is
Well,
done.
the simple
that's kind of
fact is we get that money again next year, and Leo can put that money on that road next year, because it'd be a silly thing to put it on there this year.
Well, I'm kind of like Hillman and Bobby, and, I want to see both areas get the road fixed, but I would rather Leo,
Pass it to the next meeting.
I'd just rather hear it from Leo. I would feel much better.
That's, Jeff, Leo's, he's the one that called me and got me to do this.
I'm not doubting that for a second, but I would just rather have it.
That's the reason basically this meeting was called today, is to get this done, because time is running out on us.
Jenny said not really.
Well,
So now we got more conflict.
If you wanted to use the money this year before they quit doing blacktop, you needed it.
that was one of the issues you told me about when you was talking about going to a special court meeting.
If they just wait and do it at the next meeting, which will be November
21st.
17th. Is it 21st?
21st.
No, it'll be, so you won't be,
There's many roads we need to hardtop out there, and we just select a few that we get to do during this flex money. So many roads are left out in this deal. A lot of roads need to be done. So this is one Leo wanted to do in the beginning, but when they was going to tear that road up, he decided to do it on Rattlers Creek instead. So
Heck, I can understand that, everything you're saying, but I still think that them people need some kind of a agreement that they'll have a good road once that construction is done. So there's a lot of homes up in Pond Fork.
do we lose the money if we don't use it this fall? Can we carry it over?
We've carried it over before.
Yeah, well, you can carry money over. I was just doing what most of the magistrates in every district, this magistrate and road foreman, and we all work together to decide which roads to do, and then to turn it over to the state, and they expect us, if it meets the criteria of being so bad, just a normal thing here, but whatever, it don't matter to me. We
Jack,
can wait.
do you agree that if it's bad now, it's going to be worse when they get done?
Yes, it'd be worse, and then Leo can put that on the agenda to get a hard top, or hopefully the state will fix it back, it tears it up, or the water company.
That's what I'm trying to say. Don't you think we need an agreement for whoever's going to tear it up to repair it and fix it back for the people?
Yeah, that'd be a good thing to do, and I would assume that would be done shortly, but Leo was wanting to get this done, and where Leo's talked to him about that or not, I don't know. Can't answer that.
But, if the
I'm just
state would
fulfilling
fix
his
that road,
wishes here today.
they
That's
could
all I'm
use-
doing.
He could use the flex money that he was going to use maybe next year. If the state's going to fix that, he could probably do more paving.
That's why he was wanting to switch it over to Rattlers Road so he could use that this year.
No, on down the future, if the state is going to, instead of waiting and using flex money for the road the state's going to fix, can't we just get a contract with the state or somebody, or whoever's going to be responsible for repairing it?
Why not use the money today to help another road that needs done? I wish we could do them all, but you can't. And then when that road gets worked on in a year and a half, then fix it with flex money, or the state fix it, or the water company do their part. That seems like a simple thing to me, but may not be.
Well, I kind of agree with Hillman. I would like for these people to at least have something, either out of Leo's mouth or a contract that says we're going to fix this when it's ready to be fixed.
Jack, I got blamed last court meeting for speaking up for my district, the bridge on Blackberry. Some woman said I tried to knock them out of getting the bridge over Big Hackney's Creek. And you know, and the court knows, I didn't try to knock them out. I just wondered why District 5 couldn't get no help on a bridge that didn't have any outlet other than a bypass. And, you know, I got blamed for that, and I'm not going to take blame for taking people's funding for their road and putting it on another road once the magistrate's already designated that road to be fixed.
Well, one of the reasons, and some people, when I was taking a little bit, you was insinuating that I was playing politics, helping that bridge, and
I never said you was playing politics.
I said it looked like somebody's playing politics.
Well, I never said you did it.
Some people come back and told me that.
Well,
I said, I don't think he meant that. I thought he meant the state did, not me. That's what I thought. But some people took it that way. And I said, I think he meant the state was playing politics. But the truth of the matter is that's a river crossing there. I'd assume in the state and the federal has rules dealing with rivers other than creeks. So I'd love to see Blackberry get something done, and as soon as we get the money there, they got the flex money, we can require that bridge money, not the flex, but the bridge money.
Is this something we can address at the next meeting?
If we come up to 20%.
I mean, I think everybody wants to see Ratliff's Creek. That used to be my magisterial district, and obviously we want to see that done. We want to see the people in the other area taken care of. But I mean, is it something that we can?
Why would you deny Ratliff's Creek to get hardtop this year?
Well,
when that money's going to go somewhere, why put it off to doing maybe Ratliff's Creek next year, where you can do it this year, and then you can do the other road when it gets fixed by the state, water board, or us? I mean, that seems simple.
We're not denying
Ratliff's Creek
anything.
Exactly.
We're just wanting to do the right thing for the people.
Well, when you're putting off paving Ratliff's Creek, and those people has got needs, but Palm was ahead of them. But when they took, as far as Leo determined that road was need worse, but when he found out they was going to tear it up, he didn't want to waste the money and put it somewhere else. People get use of it in the meantime. Then later, I'm sure he wants to take care of those people too. As soon as the road gets finished by the state and the water company.
Well, we got a motion and a second. We have to have a roll count.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson?
No.
Magistrate Johnson?
Jonda.
Chick second.
I don't like to get in another one's territory, I mean, and let him not be in here.
I'll go first, if that's what Leo wants done.
If that's Leo, if he wants it done, we'll do it.
Yes.
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson? Yes. Magistrate Dodson?
No.
Magistrate Varney?
No.
Judge Diskins?
Yes. What do we have?
Tie.
If I'm not mistaken, a 3-3 vote, the judge makes the final ruling on it. Is that correct? Files for sale. Sales? Shane, what do you, Kirby?
I think it fails. It
Fails.
has to have a majority vote. I mean, it has to have a plurality vote.
Okay. Put it back on. Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Acknowledgement of receipt of the Pike County School Board 2017 tax rates. I need a motion and a second.
Motion to acknowledge.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson?
Yes.
Magistrate Johnson?
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson? Magistrate Dodson?
Yes.
Magistrate Varney?
Yes.
Judge Diskins?
Yes. Approval of appointments to the Pike County Tourism Convention and Visitors Bureau. Brian, would you address this?
Yes, there are 7 appointments. Pike County Hotel Motel selects 1, the Restaurant Association picks 1, Southeast Chamber picks 2, and the Pike County Judge Executive Office, I believe, picks 2. The 2 that's up is through the Pike County, the Fiscal Court's appointments, and Bill's going to recommend Maureen Lowe to be reappointed and Judy Patton to be reappointed.
I'll say it.
I need a motion and a second.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson,
Yes.
Magistrate Johnson,
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson, Magistrate Dodson,
Yes.
Magistrate Barney,
Yes.
Judge Diskins.
Yes. All right. Awarding of bids, Frankie.
Are we going,
No bids.
we going,
Magistrate's road work.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson,
yes.
Magistrate Johnson,
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson, Magistrate Dodson,
Yes.
Magistrate Barney,
Yes.
Judge Diskins.
Yes. All right, magistrate's comments. Anderson?
I don't have any comments, Judge.
All right.
Judge, did you make the appointment yet?
Pardon?
Did you make the appointment yet?
The appointment?
Yeah.
Pike County Deputy Judge, you got that the last.
Yes, I have. Herbie.
You made the appointment already?
Well, the court has to approve the salary.
Has the appointment been done already, is what I'm asking?
Yes.
I'm sorry, Jeff, what was your question?
Go back to the agenda for the
It's on the
appointment.
agenda to approve.
Yes, we have not approved it. We're going to move it after executive session.
Can you deviate from the agenda?
I think we can, just as long as it's on the agenda. Is that correct?
Can you deviate from the agenda?
Yeah, I think as long as it remains on there, we can.
Okay, I just want to make sure, so.
Yeah, we're not.
Make sure you don't deviate from the agenda.
Chick, you have any comments?
No, I don't have anything.
Hillman?
Yeah, I've got a few, Judge.
I mean, is it a big deal?
One of them was, I was going to talk about the trail ride that we were supposed to have last week on Runyon, and we had to cancel it because we had bad weather, and we've got it set up for the 11th day of November. Same time and a little different location at Baldwin Parking. Due to the parking on the school, they've got something going on that day, so we had to move it down, and I'll let Bob tell you about that when we get done. He knows more about that side of the mountain. And Brian, are we about ready to move on the health department lease?
Yes. Yes,
Got a
Hillman.
copy of it, but I just want to know if it's something that you've looked at and
Yes, and
missing. We
I
probably
think,
need to let Herbie or somebody look at it before we approve it. Is that right?
yeah, I'll give Herbie a copy today, and he can look over it and approve it. I've already reached out to the health department. I'm hoping by the end of this week, they'll have a copy and execute it back to the fiscal court.
I know I talked to them Saturday, and they said they hadn't received anything, and I told them we were working on it and we'd get it as quick as we could.
Okay. Yeah.
And the lease on the trails, have you got anything set up for that yet?
Not anything any more concrete than where it's been in the past, Hillman. Hopefully, that's something Herbie can work on and hopefully move forward with that.
Well, Brian, we're going to miss you when you're gone. I understand you're leaving us, and I want to say that me as a member of the court will be here for you, and we hope you'll continue giving us advice on what you've done in the past. And I know you've got a lot of things going on, and we just hope that you'll relay that on to Herbie, and I know Herbie will be able to take care of it. And he's been around government for many years, and he could tell us and show us some things. And,
absolutely.
And
thank you.
I think Bill made a wise decision of who he'd asked to take your job. And just want to let him know we support him, and hope we can continue to grow, and we'll be reaching out for you a lot of times.
Thank you, Helen. Appreciate that.
That's all I have, Judge.
Bobby?
Yeah, Judge, a couple of things. We've got, we are keeping Grants Branch open through January this year. And in doing that, we've got some extra stocking that's going to be coming. They're going to have a fall stocking for the lake itself. We're going to have Christmas on the mountain there through the month of December. Starting the 1st of November, we'll be taking any kind of old Christmas decorations anybody has across the county that they want to donate to us. We'll take those Christmas decorations to use to decorate the park. I've got a little form that you sign. In other words, if you give us a bunch of lights and they don't work, we're going to throw them in the garbage can. We'll get through it. Basically, what that says. It will, at our discretion, we can use those different decorations the way we see fit, whether to use it on the park or throw away. But anybody that has them, we welcome you to bring them in. You can bring them to the park. They're open 6 days a week, every day but Wednesday, or you can bring them to the Belfry Courthouse Monday through Friday. We accept them at either place. But we're looking forward to that, Judge, to celebrate Christmas. We got a couple of different little programs that we're going to put on. One of them is we're going to have young kids come up and make Christmas ornaments. We're either going to do that on a Saturday evening or a Friday evening. And for a couple of hours there, they'll be able to make Christmas ornaments to take back home to their mom and dad, or leave there to put on the Christmas tree that we're going to put in at Grants Branch. So we've got several things there that's going. Again, with Brian leaving us and stuff, the only thing I got to say, Brian, is that you can't park your vehicle where you're parking it at now.
Move it, Bob.
Now, I'm really going to miss Brian. Brian, really, and I'm saying this in all honesty and all truthfulness, I don't know what this court had done without you being as deputy judge for the time that you were here, and I really appreciate the work you've done. I'm excited about your new job and what you're going to be doing, and I know you'll do a good job, but I just wish you all the luck in the world. Thank you. Thank you. And the other thing, Judge, we're picking up litter. I'm getting more people are calling my office now reporting somebody littering something somewhere. So we're trying to stay on top of that with the deputy sheriffs and stuff. They're helping us a little bit with that. So we've got a few people that's went and picked up 2 or 3 bags of litter after they threw it out. So that's a good thing. Our senior citizens over at Belfry, I can't say enough about that group. They've just, I love all them old people and what they do and what they stand for. Hillman mentioned the ride, the little trail ride that we were planned this past Saturday, and we've moved it to next Saturday. With all of that, there'll be some things moved around where we're going to park at and all that stuff. I think Jimmy Bevins is still here. He might want to approach the podium here in a few minutes and give us a rundown of some of that stuff that he knows in concrete. But we'll be putting that on the website, all the new stuff that we get out on it that we're going to do. A few changes, but not a whole lot. We were just hoping that we could. He got it in this past weekend, but the weather just didn't allow it, so we had to cancel out.
With the mayor.
Falling Saturday, that's right, the 11th. Let me get that straight. I'm sorry. Thank you, Hillman. That's all I've got, Judge. Thank you.
All right.
Judge, if you don't care real quick, I know Jeff Vanderbeek mentioned we did have something on the agenda. I moved it this morning. I think the copy Jeff's got it before executive session. Well, I'll go ahead and do it, Jeff. This was something that I asked Jeannie this morning to move back after executive session, because I know a lot of the magistrates may not have.
plus the 3% longevity.
Okay, I'll go ahead and do it, Jeff. I mean, you know, and I had personal reasons, the reason why I wanted to do it after executive session, but on it, we do have approval for Pike County Deputy Judge Executive Herbie Deskins to select to approve his salary today. So I'll go ahead and do that. If
Motion.
yeah, I need a motion second to approve Herbie Deskins as Deputy Judge Executive at a 6A rate of pay plus all longevity that comes with that salary.
That's the same salary you were
Same
getting.
salary as I had, yes.
You made the motion, right?
Yeah.
I'll second it.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson,
Just go ahead and say it's your
Right. Well, this is my motion to appoint Herbie Deskins, Deputy Judge Executive.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson,
Yes.
Magistrate Johnson,
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson, Magistrate Dodson,
Yes, but the motion that I had made and Bob's second was for the salary, not the appointment.
Not the appointment, just the salary.
So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's what you're voting on.
yeah, that's the judge's call on the appointment.
Right, right.
So you vote yes?
Magistrate Varney,
Yes.
Judge Deskins.
Yes.
I think I voted.
All right.
Now, we need to set a salary.
You see that? Yeah, that needs to be, that was the first motion, then the second motion.
So now let's try this again. Starting, what is today's date? The 30th? 10/31, Herbie Deskins, salary at a 6A rate of pay plus longevity.
Why not start it today?
Need a motion?
He started it today.
Starting it today.
I think it's the motion that I made that we.
Right.
Herbie, how long you been here now?
I just don't want any confusion
Hey, Herb,
that his
how long
rate
you
of
been
pay
here?
was set.
I've been here, over here.
What do you want me to do? Rescind my motion?
For 30 years.
30 years.
October 30th.
Okay.
Let's see, we need roll
A
call.
lapse of 2 days with you two.
Yeah, what the hell is it?
Judge, I'll rescind my motion and include the things that Brian had put in there in my motion. We
The
need to
confusion.
clarify the date.
The confusion we're having is, does Bill Deskins got to be the one to ask for the motion? That's the confusion we're
He's got to
having.
appoint all personnel.
Right.
Why don't we just rescind the whole motion and
Rescind the
appoint,
Well, I
and make Herbie
rescind my
Deskins,
motion, but
make
my
Herbie
motion-
Deskins deputy judge at a salary of 6A.
6A rate place plus longevity.
That was my motion and Bob's second was the salary.
But we
We rescind.
confused about it. He rescinds his motion. I rescind my second now.
Now need a motion and a second for Herbie Deskins to become Deputy Judge Executive effective today, 10/30, at a 6A rate of pay with all longevity included with it.
And I think Bill will have to make that recommendation, and I'll second it.
Roll
No,
call,
it's the
please.
fiscal court has to do that one.
The salary, okay,
Salary's up.
He appoints a deputy judge, but the fiscal court.
sets a salary,
sets his pay.
okay,
So need a motion and a second.
motion,
Could make the motion that that's what y'all set it at.
okay.
Jeff made the motion, need a second.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson,
Yes.
Magistrate Johnson,
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson, Magistrate Dodson,
Yes.
Magistrate Varney,
I just don't know, but I'll vote yes.
Judge Deskins.
Yes.
And Judge, before we break for executive session, I would like to address the court. I would like to personally thank Judge Deskins for selecting me as his Deputy Judge Executive 3 years ago. I personally want to thank you. I thank you for the appointment that you've given me over to the Pike County Detention Center. I'll address the Pike County Detention Center like I have here in this seat for the past 3 years. I I want to thank this Fiscal Court for allowing me to come here for the past 3 years to sit and talk and discuss and county business. It's meant a lot to me. I want to thank each and every one of the county workers. I come in here not knowing the majority of you guys, not just the ones sitting here, the ones that works out in the field as well. I feel like I'm leaving with a lot more friends than I had when I came in here. It means a lot to me that you've allowed me to sit here and conduct business for you guys, and that comes from my heart. And I want to thank the people of this county for allowing me to sit here, and I want to thank them for criticizing us. You know, I think every action that takes place needs criticism. You know, I look forward to the new chapter in my life. Anything that I can do for anyone, please contact. Thank you.
Well, I needed you to do the job at the jail that you've been doing for me here as deputy judge. And I thank you. And the reason I beat you, you was the second runner. You lost by about 100 votes to Lewis. And Lewis brought me a letter of his resignation, and I accepted it. So we'll move on. Treasurer's business?
Pass over till after the executive session, please.
Okay.
All right, this time then, Judge, I make a motion that we go into executive session, and according to KRS 61.810, paragraph C, discuss proposed or pending litigation, and paragraph F, discuss specific personnel.
I make a motion. Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson,
Yeah.
Magistrate Johnson,
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson, Magistrate Dodson,
Yes.
Magistrate Varney,
Yes.
Judge Deskins.
Yes. The court meeting will resume. And next on the docket is the treasurer's business.
Authorize any necessary transfers and interfund transfers to pay the bills, payroll, health, and life insurance.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson, Magistrate Johnson,
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson, Magistrate Dodson,
Yes.
Magistrate Varney,
Yes.
Judge Deskins.
Yes. All right.
Acknowledge receipt of the sheriff's 2550 reports for September 2017.
Motion to acknowledge.
Need a second.
Got to make a copy of that.
Did you second?
Make a second.
Roll call.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson, Magistrate Johnson,
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson, Magistrate Dodson,
Yes.
Magistrate Varney,
Yes.
Judge Deskins.
Yes.
Authorized to pay the omitted KERS employer contributions for Charles Childers for 6/1 of 1996 to 6/30 of 1996 and 7/1 of 96 to 3/31/97 in the amount of $701.72.
John, does that money that we supposed to pay on his pension or what? And didn't pay or what?
Because he was hired as part-time, and that's when we started getting part-time people staying on past 6 months and stuff and not working the reduced hours they were supposed to.
So we owe it?
Yes, we owe it.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson,
Yes.
Magistrate Johnson,
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson, Magistrate Dodson,
Yes.
Magistrate Varney,
Yes.
Judge Deskins.
Yes.
Under additional treasurer's business, we need to authorize a check to pay for Alfred Krieger's electrical license, which will expire 11/30/2017 in the amount of $300. We have to have it in the month prior to the expiration to get it approved.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson, Magistrate Johnson,
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson, Magistrate Dodson,
Yes.
Magistrate Varney,
Yes.
Judge Deskins.
Yes.
I have no further business, Judge.
Thank you. All right, approval for the Pike County Deputy Judge Executive. I need a motion to approve the salary of Herbie Deskins.
We've already done that.
We've already done it?
Yeah.
Can't pay twice now, Herbie.
No, well,
Yeah, we already did that.
Pretty good, let's try, Herbie.
one time's enough.
You tried, Herbie. You tried.
All right, now, Herbie, with the employees, yeah.
First of all, need a motion to accept the resignation of,
Turn your mic on.
first of all, need a motion to accept the resignation of Brian as the deputy judge effective October 30th.
Go ahead and do them all.
Motion.
Shouldn't we do that as of tomorrow, or there's going to be one day without pay?
Close the business today, maybe.
I was just reading what he wrote here, the 31st.
Okay.
30th.
Okay.
So the
You want
30th.
to do it one at a time?
Roll call. Well, just do this one separately, and then we'll do the rest of them together.
Okay. I need a motion, or I have a motion in a second.
Is that your recommendation?
Yes.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Magistrate Anderson.
Yes.
Magistrate Johnson.
Yes.
Magistrate Robinson. Magistrate Dodson.
Yes.
Magistrate Varney.
If we don't vote on this, Judge, does he have to stay? I mean, he have to stay?
Yeah.
Do what now?
If we don't vote on this, does he have to stay?
Yes.
I vote yes.
Judge Deskins.
Yes.
And the rest of the personnel is approval to lay off Michael Coleman, seasonal mower at Fish Trap, effective 11/3/2017. Approval to lay off Glenn Stanley, seasonal mower at Hardy Park, effective 11/3/2017. Acknowledge the resignation of Dexter Coleman, personnel manager of Finance Office, effective 10/31/2017. Approval to move Justin Maynard from Insurance Loss Control Officer and Judge's Office to Personnel Manager in Finance at a 3A pay rate effective 11/1/2017. Approval to move Lisa Atkins from the Occupational Tax Office to Solid Waste at Monitor effective 10/30/2017. Approval to move Donetta Rutherford from Solid Waste Monitor to the Occupational Tax Office effective 10/30/17.
I need a motion in a second.
Got a question on, says moving Justin Maynard from insurance loss control. He's still going to be in that position, I understand, and he's just going to accept the other duties as personnel. Is that right?
Let's see here.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
But the way it's wrote here, it says to move him from the insurance loss control to the judge's office to personnel in the finance.
But he's going to do both.
Well, it don't say that. I mean, the way it's written up here, that we need to designate that a little bit better, Brian?
Yeah, he's going to do both. Right now, he's a loss control officer, and he's going to continue that road with our insurances, do down and find them two jobs together to try to save money. He's going to do personnel and that.
Okay. With that, that's the description in,
Yeah, put
Of
it in
the-
there so they'll know.
to it effective, and put his, upon, that when he takes, that will be a combined, his duties will be combined there in the office of the judge.
For her records, you just need to put that in there.
Right.
Yeah.
Do we have a second?
We don't have anything yet.
Don't have?
Need a motion.
That's all in the employees.
Personnel.
Okay, now on Donetta, she needs to have plus longevity with whatever the 2A pay rate is, because she had previous employment.
Okay. And any other, Donetta Rutherford,
Plus longevity.
plus longevity, and Lisa Atkins.
She doesn't have, yeah, plus longevity too.
Okay, Justin Maynard. Well, he's just
Having
moving.
previous service.
Dexter Coleman. Sorry to lose Dexter. He's a good guy. Approval.
Right, Sam? That he's going over
We're
there
we're
with
just
jail. We don't do
acknowledging
anything to jail
acknowledging the
employees.
resignation.
John, I've got a question on this longevity. Where the girl from Phelps had moved into the monitoring job, and she'd been an employee for the county, would she be entitled to the longevity, just like you said Donetta would there?
Yeah, if she got any longevity during the time she was
Well,
employed.
how does that work?
It was according to whether or not we authorized longevity those years. We've not had longevity in probably 7 or 8 years now.
So we started it back?
No. In the administrative code, it says if you come back to work, you get previous time served. Before, you can't get anything after 82. It was prior to 83 and above, or 82 and above, is what our administrative code says.
From 83 up?
Yes.
See, she wasn't laid off, she just moved into another position.
If she had any during the time she's been employed, she would have had it added to her salary at that time. I don't know if she even had any.
I don't either. I know we didn't discuss that when we moved her into that position, and I didn't know if she had it
In
come.
adding it to it, even though it does say it in the administrative code, you forfeit your payout on your vacation and personal leave. You start at the bottom because you get paid it out at the end, but then you get the time served added to your pay if they had longevity during that time frame.
So you don't know whether or not she did or
No,
since
I'd
you.
have to go back and look on her.
I just, I don't want her to be left out.
Be fair and consistent. That's something I've always said to anybody. We're fair and consistent with them. If they had it, we're not going to rob them of it. We're fair and consistent. I'd have to go and look at her file to know if she had any longevity.
I believe I got a motion and a second, don't
No.
I? Yeah.
Yeah, motion.
Second. Roll call, please.
Master Anderson,
Yes.
Master Johnson,
Yes.
Master Robinson, Master Dotson.
Yes.
Master Varney,
Yes.
Judge Deskins.
Yes. Public comment. May?
Good afternoon already. I'm Mike May. I'm sure y'all are really pleased to see my smiling face here today. And Judge, I've got to give you credit for a trending phrase over at Pond Creek. Some of my friends and even my wife, I get down in front of Food City on my soapbox, they say, Mike, let's go, your 10 minutes is up.
Thank you.
Well, here with Herbie today, Herbie Deskins Jr., a long time politician here in Pike County. Goes back to the late 60s, and I believe he was even into bringing the National Young Democrat Convention to Kentucky, if I'm not mistaken, sometime in the mid-60s.
I did, yes.
Yeah. And at that time, I was a young Democrat, Herbie. And through the process, Herbie was a very colorful feller then, and I think he is still staying with that today. And I do think he'll make a great addition to the court. And I know with Brian there, I hope you don't take anything with what Bobby said of wanting to keep him. I mean, you know, we got to go on, and I'm sure you'll be welcome here and do us a good job. I'm looking forward to it, to seeing what goes on, and I will be keeping up with things, and if I've got any complaints or whatever, I will. And I think that's something with government we need more of. I hear a lot of complaints out in the county, but it just seems that nobody wants to bring them forward to, you know, when they're talking to anybody in power that's elected. And Hillman, I've got to call you out on this. my old pal, how in your prayer today, and I'd called, or I didn't explain it, but Bobby had done it before, but now whenever, and that probably has a lot to do with it, but when you think someone, be it me or whoever, is committing a sin that you have to ask the good Lord to forgive us, when we bring our complaints or whatever here to the court or wherever, I think that there is just going a little bit too far. I think me and the good Lord, I'm trying to make Pike County better, what little I could do with my complaints. But, and,
you know, our prayers are between us and God, not us and you. And I can pray for what I want to, and you can pray for what you want to. And I don't know if you took it wrong or what, but if people would work together more than trying to tear down, this county would prosper.
Hillman, I will agree with that. I think we need more of that. And I hope you don't get offended, but hey, I called Bobby out. And
I don't care if he called me out. Like I said, the prayers between me and God.
Well, but it was right here where a lot of people heard it. I mean, to me, do you think it's a sin for me to come over here and criticize?
No, but it would be good if you'd come over and do something good sometimes.
I hope I do.
And thank the court for what they're doing instead of trying to criticize.
Well, I hope I can make a little difference, but sometimes if it ain't brought to the attention, it don't get nothing. There's been things I've worked and complained about, and it take years for it finally even to get going with. But that being said, I didn't mean to get in a deep discussion or offend you.
Well, you know you did, and you know we have got a freedom of speech and a freedom of prayer. Who we want to include in that prayer is up to us and God. And you do your prayers, I'd say, and I don't say anything with who you pray for.
Well, you're not hearing them all the time either.
The prayer that I was asking was that pull the county together and make it work better for the people. You know, we don't have to always argue and fight. We can disagree, but we can agree to disagree and work toward the betterment of this county.
I will agree with that. And that part of the prayer I understand. It's just that I don't think it should be considered a sin for anyone to voice their criticism of this court.
I don't know where I said a sin or pray for them people that's bringing approach upon this court.
But we'll move on, Hillman. I just couldn't go without bringing that up. It does get me that you would think, or whoever would need to ask God to forgive me for
You must
being
have
over
felt
here.
guilty. You must have felt
no,
guilty.
Sir.
You
No, sir, I don't feel guilty. No, that's one thing we'll get on here. No, I just don't think it's for you to ask the good Lord to forgive me for coming over here and criticizing.
Didn't say you. I said
no, but anyone. But let's move on. I've took up too much time on that, and I'm sorry that I offended you about, but if you go back and here, I mean, it should not be considered a sin to come over here and criticize.
And say that.
Okay. Well, we'll move on. You got me a little riled on that one. Okay. Let's go. I'm going to make just a few comments here. I think the citizens are entitled to a little better explanation of the deal of where the funds come out for the Coal Run asphalting. And, to how it did come out of the road account without a purchase order or any way of keeping a better tally, according to what I've read in the paper, of how many truckloads went or whatever. I just think it should be, sort of explained a little better on that.
If you don't care, guys, can I make a comment? I mean, I was involved with that, and even though I'm not sitting up there, I've kind of educated on what happened. Mike, this started a couple, 2, 3 years ago, and realistically, this court's done work for Co-Run and Elkhorn for decades. It's not something that we haven't done or not done. But a couple years ago, Mayor Scott reached out and asked the court could he use their equipment and labor to help lay down the asphalt in the city limits of Co-Run. They didn't have the capabilities of doing it. They didn't have the funding to provide it through their labor. So this court agreed to do it, and Road Commissioner Smith tallied up the labor hours and the equipment hours that was associated with that and was passed on to Co-Run. This past year, the city of Co-Run asked again if the county could go in the city of Co-Run and assist with their asphalt laying. And then here's where it gets kind of tricky, Mike. The county absolutely did nothing, no more than provide equipment and labor. This court did not purchase any asphalt, didn't write any POs. Any purchasing of asphalt come directly from the city limits of Co-Run. Okay, now let me finish. The city limits of Co-Run. Any overages that they had is absolutely on their administration, their court. There was no POs, we didn't pay for it. How they went over, nobody from this court went into the city limits of Co-Run and measured their roads or ordered their asphalt. So your questions about the Co-Run asphalt, you need to go direct them questions to Co-Run.
Well, Brian, no, that is what, take Co-Run out of it. How does it come out of Magistrate Anderson's account?
It did not come out of Magistrate Anderson's account. That's where you're misled or misinformed.
Well, the paper said that you noticed a...
Well,
Jeff, can you...
I can tell you what I know. And I did get a phone call the day of the last court meeting, which is, I think is when Brian addressed the issue, saying that there had been a reduction in my road fund, but they had it fixed. I don't know, I wasn't involved in the calling and ordering of the asphalt, but I will say this. Several years ago, when Mayor Dye was in office at Co-Run, it's been what, 4 or 5 years ago, we did enter into an interlocal agreement with Co-Run, which gives us I don't know all the wording of the contract, but it just gives us the ability. It says we may help Co-Run, and basically it just. Well, the gist of it is we can use our equipment. But now, as far as the money, how that all happened.
That's my concern.
Yeah, I don't know the particulars. Okay. I wasn't involved in it. I just wanted my concern was when I got a phone call saying there was a question about my road fund going from a positive to a negative balance.
Wasn't that just sent the bill the wrong place?
Yeah, that's where I was going. What happened?
Wasn't that just a bill sent the wrong place?
What happened was there was Mountain
I get those at home.
Yeah, Mountain Enterprise sent the bill for the asphalt to the county instead of Co-Run.
Okay, so if it wasn't owed, how did they get paid?
They didn't get paid.
No, Co-Run, what they're saying is they sent the bills to us. The person that does our billing thought it was our expense. It wasn't. It should have gone to Co-Run. So
it did originally come out of your
Yes,
account.
it did.
I mean, that is my questioning is how, and if to straighten it up that it don't happen again.
It was so easy to straighten up.
It didn't take just 2 minutes, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was so easy to straighten up because a check was never cut out of the county to Mountain Enterprise. It got fixed and solved before any checks were cut.
Then how did you get a deficit in your account?
Well, that's just a computer. I mean, we approve things before the checks get written. I mean, we do that every month, basically, I think we do. But I was a little alarmed too, but once I found out what happened, I talked to Brian. All my money through the computer was put back in, and the bills got sent to Co-Run, and it was paid.
Okay, I hope y'all can see where or anyone would be concerned with how that.
Oh, yeah. It'd be like your personal bank account. You know, if you go to bed and you got $50,000 in the bank and you wake up and you're in the hole, you're going to want to know where the money is.
Not very nice. Let me get just a couple more things here, and I'll sit down, Judge. I want to go with Magistrate Varney. I don't think that charitable contributions ought to be coming out of your road account or whatever. I mean, if you see a good cause, hey, take up a collection. I'll be even willing to put in the money, you know, to help with the cause. But I don't think, I think it'd be better served maybe going over and getting a little more hardtop on Dick's Fork, and using it on the road fund. And that being said, that's just my opinion. I think charitable contributions, hey, and I would be more than glad to contribute to a good cause.
A dozen times.
And I will say one more thing and sit down. And this again, I'm going to address you, Magistrate Barney.
Stuff we can't even do.
I do hope that Christmas on the Mountain don't turn into a campaign headquarters for Bobby Varney. Thank y'all. And Hillman, I love you, buddy.
Well, Mike, I love you too. You know, we're supposed to love one another. And, you know, when we pray, I hope you just let me pray and then you pray, and then we hope we'll get to heaven one of these days.
Hey, I think it ain't gonna be a crowded place, Hillman.
All right, commissioners and directors' comments. Jackie Darrell?
First of all, I want to say I'll miss Brian a lot, and this is a big change in the court. John Doug's been with us at the beginning, and he ain't been with us lately. Then Brian leaving, and as I watched Brian graduate up here, at first he was green as grass, and he got to be real good at the job, and he's a real good guy to work with, and I'll really miss him. But I'm grateful that Herbie Deskins accepted the challenge and came in to help us serve the next year and 2 months out. County Attorney, I asked the last time about the road deal, was trying to get permission from the circuit court, and I was talking with your man, and he said that you realized you had the papers and had found them.
Yeah, there was one piece of paper you brought me. I didn't understand much about it. It was from the cemetery. It was one sheet of paper. I was looking for a statute.
Two sheets.
I just saw one sheet of paper. We have to file a suit. I don't know who to sue on that. You said the circuit judge could do it.
If you would talk to Judge Coleman, that's who directed me to do this way. Judge Coleman told me to get the county attorney.
I'll file an action in his court then.
Talk to him, and maybe speak to the coroner over there, not the coroner, but the undertaker at Phelps there. I'll give you his cell phone number later, and you can talk to him. And
yeah, we'll name
Johnson.
I hate to file another declaratory action. Heck, every last time I did one, every media outlet in the country told me I couldn't do it, even though it's in the law. So
we got it, and he said that we thought that would be the shortest way to do it, but it's not working out that way. But that's another situation we've got is up in.
But I don't know who to sue.
We got a road there that's going to be paved, and I don't want to pave it then tear it up.
We have to name those families or unknown families is what we'll probably
see. The Wolford family is mostly buried there, but we're thinking there should be some other people maybe, and that gives permission to take all bodies up. And
I'll probably just name all the families.
Put the hardtop off there on that.
We'll John Doe a few people and then just put it out in the paper for anybody that's related to file a claim, file a statement to the circuit court.
That's what Judge Coleman, Judge Coleman can probably clarify better to you than I could maybe. But that's what he's telling me to do, and I took that.
Run into a little problem. Ethically, we're not allowed to talk to the judges about a case we're going to bring in front of them. That's where I run into a little trouble there. I'm not allowed to talk to them about a case I'm bringing in front of them. So I run into a little ethics problem doing that, but we as attorneys, we're not allowed to talk to judges about a case we're going to bring in front of them.
Well, it's just making a request to take up the bodies there. It's under the hard
and then let him tell me from the bench. I'll do it, no problem.
And he acted like it'd be no problem for him, the one of the judges to do. But the way to do it is to get the county attorney, not me. And so I volunteered and got in this mess. It's been a long project. But okay, go on to another thing there. There going. I was just kind of surprised on it because, and to clear a few things up, you know, on the road there I go, it kind of irritated me that my word was questioned, because if I said Leo wanted something done and when he comes in the next court meeting, he said, no, I didn't say it, Jackie Darrell looked foolish, and I ain't going to do that. And he even asked Kenneth Robertson to make the motion. And and I thought maybe the people out there watching this thing wouldn't understand that, but I would thought people of the court basically would. But it's been protocol when the state tears up a road, they fix it back. It's been protocol in the contracts when the water department goes in and tears a road up and does a road line, it's in their bid to fix the hardtop back. And I should have mentioned that hour ago when they asked me if I seen any paperwork. No, I ain't seen no paperwork, but that's just an assumed protocol that happens. So Leo, when he comes back next meeting, he'll state it, and I even called him there ago, and he was disappointed, but that's life, I guess, things. But I don't know why I was questioned on that. I think that would be in the road commissioner's department. And another issue in the last court meeting, the road on Ford Mountain.
I went up and looked at that, Jack. We need to get that fella and fix that.
Yeah, okay, because I called you Thursday of last week and left a voicemail, then I called you another time twice Thursday, and I called Friday morning too, and so I did make the phone calls.
Yeah, I didn't get a voicemail.
And he was going to show up Friday, and when I couldn't get a hold of you, I called and told him no need to come because, me and him had done eyeballed it, and it's almost an emergency deal. I'd say you'd have to agree.
It needs to be fixed. I went and looked at it too.
Appreciate you seeing that. Okay. Thank you.
Jack, back to the road issue. You are the road commissioner, but it has to be approved by the court. Remember that. And let me finish now. I didn't bother you.
Okay.
What I voted was that the people in Pond Fork or Pond Creek be treated fairly. They had money allocated. And if you're going to transfer money, put something in writing from the state or the water that when they tear that road up, they'll fix it back. It could go on to Leo might not be there when this comes up. And then people need to be protected some way. And that's what I voted for. I didn't vote against Leo. I voted that the people would be represented fairly. And you being a road commissioner, you're probably smarter than we are, but remember, we got to vote to approve what you recommend.
You finished? Okay, that's the reason I'm here in the court today. That's what I was told procedures to follow. And so I was following procedures the state, Gary, the road commissioner said we had to do, and Leo wanted it done. He come in here in the court Friday, in the courtroom, and asked me to make sure this is done. So I was following instructions. It just shocked me that I'd be questioned on Leo asked me to do that. And those people do need help, but a lot of those people's moved out of that holler, which if it's 2 houses or 3 or 5, they still need help. But the holler is not too many people up in there these days. But it is common knowledge, I would thought, when the state tears a road up, it's protocol that they will fix it back. And really the taxpayers in the county group or the county budget will be helped on that because the state will fix it back, and what the water department tears up, the water department will contribute that back.
That's a simple question we ask you. Did y'all have something in writing that they would repair that?
I believe you asked me did I see something in writing or something, but I haven't seen it in writing, but it's protocol to do that. I wouldn't think I need to explain that part, but I may have slipped there. If I did, I would have thought you all would have known that.
How many houses in there? You said it wasn't very many.
Too many now. How many's in there, Ken, if you think now? Well, the forks of the holler on up, that's what he's going to hard top.
Now, he's talking about from the bridge and mouth to holler.
Ain't that many, but from the forks on up, ain't but 1/2 of
He's talking about Pond Fork, where they built a new bridge. Jimmy Dale, how many houses up in there? You lived there all your life. The holler's probably about, 2 miles, 3? I'd say you're talking,
mile and a half.
50, 60 houses?
No, they're not that many. It'd be 10 to 15 houses was killed up in that hollow.
Jack, I know better than that. My wife is from ahead of Pond Fork, and I've drove that road a many a time. And Jimmy Dale tell you there's more than 10 or 15 houses in there.
There ain't no 60. I'll bet $10,000 against $10.
How old am I?
But it don't matter if there's 3 or 5, they still need help where there's many. But Leo wanted that, and he really stressed that to me several times. And if I said that and he didn't say that, well, I'd be like a fool in the next court meeting.
Well, Jack, if we vote because somebody wants something and it's against our will, then we're doing wrong. I think we need to represent the people, vote our conscience, and leave it there. I mean, we shouldn't be browbeated or made to vote a way we don't want to vote. And I've told you that, and we talked about that for 30 minutes a while ago. And there ain't no use to continue hitting on it.
But I'd like the public to understand, and under protocol, you may not know that, it's protocol that they will take care of it. Those people won't be left out in the cold. They will be taken care of. But just be wasting money to put money on that road and then going to tear it up.
We didn't say put the money on that road. All that we was wanting to do is them people be protected some way that they would have their road fixed when the work is done.
That's probably one of the positives of the commissioner form of government. You're responsible for all the county because you got to run county-wide. But most time that I've watched in this court, all the time, you take care of your area, we'll take care of ours. That's what I've seen over and over again.
But we're obligated to the people in the county.
Truly you are, but I haven't seen that. I have never seen that question before, and it just took me by surprise.
We'll have it on the court meeting. We'll have it on the agenda in the next court meeting, and before the next court meeting, maybe you can check with the Department of Transportation to make sure they're going to repair that road that they're going to be working on, and then that question can be answered at the next
That'd
meeting.
be no problem. I would think
we'll
that'd be.
Go ahead and vote on it.
That's a simple yes before I check, I would think.
Okay. Maybe
Oh,
they'll need
you
to
have any
be in
comments?
writing.
Judge, the only thing I got, I went a couple of weeks ago and looked at a bucket truck up Elkhorn City. It's international, and good-looking truck. And then they called me from the state this last weekend, or I talked to them this morning on it. And they got a nice truck down there, but we found two nice trucks, and we just have to look at it and see. And I believe John said we have the money, won't we, John, for it? So
They just don't have approval. It's 15,000, I think.
right, the one up Elkhorn City is 15,000. This one downstate was 18,000. I don't know what kind of shape it.
But we haven't voted to approve the check to whichever one
Right.
yet.
Well, I need to look at that downstate and see.
Yeah.
Then bring it back to court.
All right. Bobby?
Judge, I believe it. That Jimmy's got something to report on.
We have one more. We need one more to straighten out this right here.
Okay, all right.
Judge, we're going to have our rescheduled ride on the 11th. I'm meeting with Tony and Jay over in tourism in the morning, and we'll work on the agenda for that. Get the flyers updated. We'll get that posted to the Pike County Trails website. We'll probably be registering over at the Blackberry Community Center, and then be riding a lot of the same areas that we were going to ride on this ride. Would like to thank Rodney Scott. He was going to sponsor breakfast for us. And we're going to have that at Bill Ball's Old School Events, but they have a wedding booked that weekend, and that's not going to be an option for us. So that's one of the things that we have to change, not because of Bill or Rodney. It's just logistically it won't work. So we've talked, and it looks like we'll just do the registration there at the community center, which is next to the Senior Citizen Center there at Blackberry. Start the ride there, and then also talk with Greg Hatfield. He was doing a concert after the ride, and he's planning on doing that. With the weather, I don't know if he'll be having it up on the mountain or if he'll be having it over at the grade school. Yep. So that'll probably be weather dependent as well. So that's all we have. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yep.
Judge, I've got one more item that we need to clear up on the personnel. It's
Put your microphone on.
Oh, I'm not used to this. To clear up the personnel problem, I mean, not problem, but the placements, we need the approval to move Lisa Atkins from Occupational Tax Office to Solid Waste at Monitor, effective 10/30/2017, with any longevity that she might have, and to full-time. Approval to move Donetta Rutherford from Solid Waste Monitor to Occupational Tax Office, effective 10/30/17, to full-time with any longevity that she might have obtained. And approval to put Lisa Little full-time to replace Rose Farley as fiscal court clerk at 3A pay rate with any longevity.
Read a motion.
That's your recommendation, Judge.
You recommend,
That's
your recommendation?
Yeah. All right. I need a second.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Master Anderson?
Yes.
Master Johnson?
Yes.
Master Robinson? Master Dotson?
Yes.
Master Varney?
Yes.
Judge Diskins?
Yes. All right. County Attorney's report.
We've got, I guess this is a special meeting. I'll probably bring this, we're still meeting Wednesday, aren't we? Is there another meeting this week? Is there next meeting? Middle of the month, I'll bring it up middle of the month. I guess I've had some people talk to me a little bit about, I'm going ahead and filing the lawsuit with one of the contractors that we mentioned before. That somebody tells me not to, so that was supposed to have been done already, and heard a little bit of quibblings that there may be, I don't know if they brought the check or not. They're supposed to have brought us a check. Did we get anything from that company? Okay, I'll go. There was a company owed us about $400,000, and plus interest brought it to about $675. We need to also talk to, we got some issues with their attorney, so they'll probably be getting a new attorney. And so I'll hold up a couple days and see if they get an attorney. Contact me. Thanks.
All right. Pike County Judge executive comments. I need a motion to adjourn.
I saw you move.
Second. Roll call, please.
Master Anderson? Master Johnson?
Yeah,
Yes.
I
Master
wrote them a
Robinson?
letter and told them that I was
Master
going to
Dotson?
accept.
I meant to mention that to you.
Yeah.
I about stumbled in.
Master Dotson? Master Varney?
Yes.
Judge Diskins?
Yes.
I hope so.